Hello, I'm Functional Health Coach Vince Pitstick, and this is MMU Education. Hey, if you would, support me, support the channel, support this information, hit the like and subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we make another video drop. All right, welcome to all my subscribers and first-time viewers looking to enhance their knowledge and not be confused by the world of random BS that is out there looking to confuse you or manipulate you. You come here for the truth, and I appreciate you for it. Today, we're going to talk about something you may not realize is so prevalent, but you're going to need to know at some point because you're going to get constipated like the rest of America at some point, and what you do and what you don't do to make sure you can take a healthy doo-doo. All right, as I said, you can take a look at this chart here. America has a bit of a constipation crisis. Well, kind of so does the world. Now, somewhere around 16% of Americans struggle with on and off constipation. 16%. That's almost like 2 out of 10 people. So you probably know a lot of people that are constipated. It may explain some people's personalities and why they're grumpy all the time. I think I would be too. So there's some things I think you really, really need to know because America is leaning more and more into laxatives every day, whether it's prescription, over-the-counter, holistic, moving to colonics, and there's so much there that is a trap that can be confusing and misleading. So let's break it down in this video. So due to an aging population, I think the median age in America is now 35. We have an older, more constipated crowd. People have more gut issues than ever. People's gut linings are being stripped or eating unhealthy foods or taking medications. Everything in the world is like an insult to your microbiome. And the more that gets degraded, the more constipation sets in. So some common agents people use to get rid of constipation, we'll start in the holistic world, would be like magnesium, potentially like bile salts or ox bile, motility agents, things like that. Also maybe like a binder of sorts. All those things can be used in the natural world, but most Americans actually use things that are more retail oriented, something you can get down at the Walgreens, or then step it up a notch for chronic constipation, moving toward colonics. So most people use things like Laxatives or Miralax. And these agents, while they may get a quick solution up front, these agents typically are not a long-term solution. And in fact, overuse, what we're seeing in America called Laxative Dependency, is growing at all-time rates. People can't go number 2 without using some product or agent, which is really unfortunate. And most of those agents don't lead to a healthier microbiome and healthier person overall. Take, for example, Miralax. I've even seen people on TikTok talking about how Miralax detoxes your body. In fact, this is a common trick in the holistic world. They'll give you colon cleansers and diuretics and call it a detox. So just because it cleared your colon doesn't mean you've detoxed any more than normal. I will say that stool holding in your body for too long can make you more toxic. It's popular in the medical community to talk about holding stool inside of your body for more than 24 hours is more than healthy. And I would argue that is not true. You want to get stool that sits there at least within 12 to 16 hours, as there is evidence to suggest that stool toxins are brought into stool by bile. Bile is what helps take a lot of the toxins, because toxins are fat soluble, stick them into the stool essentially, and then that stool sits waiting to be ejected. But if it sits there longer than 12 or 16 hours, some of that can re-release into the colon tissue, which is very, very thin, and then reabsorb into the bloodstream, which is a major no-no. So yes, I guess in one way or another, going to the bathroom is detoxing in a way, but no way is Miralax a detoxing agent. Miralax has things like propylene glycol or polyethylene glycol, which basically is in motor oil and other lubricants. Now, that would be okay in small amounts, and if you had to use it a couple times, I don't want to make you afraid of these agents. But the reality is, taking too much of this and this type of oil really dries out the GI lining. It doesn't improve the microbiome, and all you're doing is getting temporary relief of the symptom and not fixing the problem. So people continue to go on because it reduces bloat and they think it's detoxing them. And they'll continue to use these kind of agents for really long periods of time. We find many people using laxatives for years. If you or maybe one of your family members or friends is struggling with some issue, maybe can't keep the weight off, or has been dealing with a health issue that nobody can help with, my team can help at Vital Coaching. Vital Coaching is a complete all-in-one solution to the world's problems. I believe that's why I've given my life to it. It's a place where you can get a medical team, your coach, You can get your diets, workouts, supplement protocols all in one place, all with a huge app full of information, live trainings. We have a huge community and individualized support all in one membership. It's unlike any other company that's out there. It is a real all-in-one solution. So if you're interested in maybe a consult with me or my team, you can check us out at vitalcoaching.com, or you can message me on Instagram at Vince_Pitstick. Hope to see you soon. You know, granted, we would love the body to go on its own, but even something like a magnesium is actually good for the body, right? Psyllium husk is a fiber that's good for the body. These things are beneficial to the body, but these other agents that we use to create a laxative effect in our body may or may not be good for us. And so over time, it becomes abusive. People use it because they don't want to be bloated. They're using it as weight loss agents. Many of these people will move to colonics. Colonics, this is unpopular opinion. I'm going to trigger somebody. Colonics are unhealthy. I do not recommend them at all. In fact, I staunchly suggest that you avoid colonics at all costs. I would say that there are times in IBD and IBS where you may use one. There are certain rare conditions where they may be a benefit. If you were to do one, keep them really, really, really far apart from each other. Anytime that you just pull stool fundamentally through the colon, you're causing the muscles to move in an inappropriate way. It can lead to relaxing of the muscles and create laxative dependence. Very similar to if we chronically use laxatives like Miralax or the more popular natural agent, Senna. We see it with Senna all the time as well. In fact, my most complex and hardest constipation cases that I've ever had to try to solve, and if there were any that I couldn't solve, they were always using Senna, Miralax, and Colonics. In fact, we use too many Colonics too often. There's some people that never seem to get the muscles in their colon back online. They don't get that motility back, and then they're permanently on these things that have to deal with those side effects. Again, I'm sorry if you're a Colonics fan, but it's never a good idea to pull the Colonics out. It's bad for the microbiome. It's bad for the muscles. It's an unnatural sort of process. If somebody wants to try to push stool through in an emergency, we do recommend, again, AKA this is not medical advice, but we would recommend a coffee enema so you're pushing it through the liver. You're not pulling it out of the colon with a colonic. So with laxatives, over time, it becomes harder and harder to use the same dose. You have to continue to increase your amount. Okay, many people, like former eating disorder or bulimics, will continue to use this as a form of bulimia, a form of anorexia, to keep them really lean in their stomach and prevent them from having to eat more to try to push stool through. So they will lean on this for a significant period of time. So, I think it's really important to point out that while temporary relief is a good thing, to use something long-term consistently becomes a problem and makes it harder to solve. The problem is that using laxatives can be really quickly effective. For example, propylene glycol. Like if you look at this study here, it was looking at a couple different classes of people in a randomized controlled trial. It was taking a look at propylene glycol with probiotics, psyllium husk, and psyllium husk with probiotics. And it went through the study, and all of them definitely helped constipation in this study. But the best group was actually the propylene glycol with probiotic. Now, again, this is temporary solutions to acute problems, short-term problems. The issue is when we keep leaning on these agents to go long. So here are some simple suggestions that I can give you. If you're someone that's been on these agents for over a year, I would highly suggest that you work with a functional consultant. Do not try to solve some of these problems on your own. If you are currently on Senna or doing colonics, I would highly suggest that you stop immediately and see a functional practitioner to see how we can step off of those things, maybe someone on my team or anyone local to your area. If you're somebody that cannot go to the bathroom on their own, moving back to propylene glycol would actually be a benefit compared to using Senna or using colonics. But after that, we have to start reinstituting other agents. So that research kind of showed. If we start using bifidobacterium, start adding anywhere from 5 to 15 grams of psyllium husk, we increase our water significantly. Research shows that if you don't increase your water with your fiber intake or your psyllium husk, that's what that is, then you can create more constipation, right? We're trying to get things to move through, kind of like a slip and slide. So you can transition off the Miralax onto increased magnesium, vitamin C, things like a bowel mover or motility agent. And you should be able to assist yourself in walking off some of these other agents that seem harmless, but long-term can cause severe issue. So in summation, we have a chronic constipation issue in America, but we really have to watch what we lean on to go to the bathroom because it may be the only thing that helps us go to the bathroom. Hey, you completed the education. Thank you for driving your knowledge and hopefully making you 1% better. And if you want another 1%, why don't you check out any one of these videos here. Thanks for watching.